going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and today we're going to be taking a look at these new stands and see how they work for me. So this is supposed to hold the power supply in the middle, and it's also supposed to be for dual mining rigs. So there'll be a rig on each side this way, and then the power supply in the middle, and hopefully it does save some room, and hopefully it all kind of fits together for me. Kind of putting them together, it almost looks like a Harley engine or something when it's complete. You know, more on that when we're done here. But you can pick these up. Links will be in the description. This is from Jensen. He is inside of my Discord. I'm sure a lot of you guys have talked to him, seen his photos on his stands. And he has an Etsy store known as True Fabrication. So there are two various ways you can get these. One, you can purchase these and you can get them individually with all the screw kits that you see here all together for each rig. Or you can buy the STL files and then print as many as you want from yourself, and you will have to order the parts afterwards. So these are inserts right here. So those actually will end up going inside of all of these holes here because it'll add it in there. And then these bolts here will screw into those, and that's what's going to mount your motherboard onto these, making them a lot more secure. So you will need to get these yourself if you just purchase the STL files. Obviously, if you have a 3D printer, that's probably the better way to go. These are very cheap as well. Let's go through the sizes here. So for these inserts, they are, let's see if it focuses for a second. All right, so there you can see these are M4 by 5 by 5. So M4, 5 by 5. And then the screws here are actually M4 by 6, if you can see. So right here, M4 by 6. So the size is M4, and they're 6 millimeters long. And this is what's going to go into your motherboard and actually screw onto the inserts, which are inside of here. Now, these are going to be the two rigs that I'm going to be putting on those stands. Right now, I just got them sitting with my other kind of original stands here, sitting on top of the boxes. Now, before, as you guys know, I do use these ones right here. Now what's going on here is there's a motherboard here and a motherboard right behind it, and the power supply is actually in between it here or behind it, kind of like what we see over here. I do have the power supply behind everything. So let's just kind of move closer here, and this one will be easy to see. You can see up there or down here, you know, the power supply is hanging in the back, so it takes up quite a bit of space. So in theory, I'm hoping these actually save a little bit of space, because now your power supply will be in between the rigs and they'll be facing this way and this way, and maybe we can fit more rigs in a smaller footprint. All right, so I do have one of these in, as you can see right here. Let's see if we can get a better focus on it. There we go. So as you can see right there, I did insert it. Now I found that if I actually put this onto the screw and screw it in, it's much easier to get in instead of just pushing on it, which makes sense because there's grooves. So I think it kind of just screws in as you turn it. All right, so I'm not sure how well you're going to see this, but as you can see, I got the threaded part there going against the screw here. I'm just going to screw it in like so. So I'm screwing it in there. This is how we will be clamping down the motherboard. And now I got an Allen wrench, which will fit into here like so. And then I'm going to screw this into one of them holes there. So just give me a second to line this all up. All right, so we got the hole there, and then I got my Ordelio here. So I'm just going to push this in. Make sure it's in at first. It's kind of weird hanging over the camera here. So make sure I get this in. I'm probably going to epically fail this. All right, we're relining up. There we go. So I'm just going to get that in like so. We're going to apply pressure and then slowly twist it. And then it should catch, and then you'll eventually start screwing it in once you do get the middle part to kind of bite. All right, so I kind of got it started here. Now you can see as I turn it, it's going to insert. You are going to have to push in with pressure as well, obviously. But here you can see I'll give it a little turn, and bam, it just goes straight into there like so. And then just back it off, and it should pull out. Okay, so I did get all of these inserts installed here, as you can see. So now we got to get our rigs together. All right, so I guess first thing you got to do is shut these off. Now that kind of sucks because rig 36 right here has actually been finding more solutions on cubic than my Epic, this 7950X3D, which is crazy. And it's only like 4 solutions short of the dual Epic. So it's been finding a lot of solutions. So I don't really want to have it off for too long. Got to reach in here, get to the power switch here. Ouch, I caught my elbow in the fan. That sucks. So, ow. So yeah, I hit my fan. Elbow hit my fan. Hit my elbow in that fan there, and it kind of, you know, give me a little jar. It almost hit the funny bone. That would have sucked because it would have jerked and then probably knocked everything over. But let's get these unplugged into the other room. All right, so coming into the desk here, I'm gonna mount the power supply first to this bracket here because it's designed to mount right there, and it screws into the back of the PSU. I can't remember if these come with their own screws or not. Probably do. But if not, you know, obviously I do have this kit here that has every single PC component needed. So I'm going to use these PSU type of thumb screws that you can see right there. If it focuses, right? So there we go. So those guys right there. So that's what I'm going to use to mount it in this kit. And I have like 6 of these kits because I was only using them for the M2s for my other stands because I needed a bunch of those. So obviously I have a crap ton of screws here that I can utilize. All right, so I do have this mounted. There is no mounting hardware, brackets, holes, or anything because there's going to be a gap because the motherboard is there, and that's kind of how you're going to run your cable management. Now, as you can see, this also works as a handle. You can just carry your power supply around. So there is going to be a motherboard on each side. So this is going to be 2 CPU mining rigs to 1 power supply. Okay, so I did get the 2 motherboards installed here, as you can see here. Now the holes were very, very tight. I actually had to stretch it a little bit on the one, and I got a little crack. Let me put this down. I just want to show you if I can get in on that. Let's just see. Yeah, you can see it's kind of cracking right there. So hopefully it's going to be okay. I imagine it will. It is pretty snug and tight. And now I can lift the whole rig by the 2 handles on the side, kind of move it around. So it makes it nice and easy. But you know, there may be some fine tuning and adjustments needed in the file to get them perfect. Maybe I put them in wrong, or I did something wrong, or it's cockeyed or something. You know, that could be my fault. But there's also the other style right here, which is also available. My print came out wrong. That's why I'm not using them. And I tried the new style because they came out after, because they take like 10 to 12 hours to actually print. But as you can see, these ones here, they have a groove in here, and you have these little Ordelios right here. This is actually where the screw holes would go into that, and they're actually slide up and down here, and they're adjustable. So that would help out with measurements or multiple motherboards. Plus they got the feet here. It was kind of a pain because there is no feet that's just holding up, so you got to kind of be all cockeyed to get it all screwed in. But again, I might just be a horrible installer. That's very well could be my issue. But I want to point out here also that the feet do have the down sizes depending on your motherboard. If you have a big shroud down here, you're not going to be able to use those feet, and it's going to be sitting too high, and then you won't be able to do nothing. So that's why maybe adjustable is better as well. But again, you know, a whole bunch of different factors here. I'm going to print some new ones of these ones with the support so that I don't get the messed up groove like you see here. You know, I had a failed print, and that's what's happening with these stands. But so far, I did get this together, so now I got to try to hook it all up, plug it in, and make sure it all works still, and hopefully I didn't crack a motherboard. All right, guys, so I was going through everything here, and the stands actually, I think, failed me. So let's take a look at what we got going on here. It does look sweet. See how I kind of said it looks like a Harley engine when it's done. But the major issue is the length of the 24 pins. As you can see, the 24 pin is here. And then on the other one, it's all the way on the other side. So even going underneath, I'm trying a whole bunch of different ways. It will not reach no matter what I do. So I do believe the other stands that you can move around will be better, because that way you can switch it around. So instead of having the CPU, you have to have it on the bottom on one side and up top on the other. And then everything should work fine, because you got the legs, you got a higher gap off the ground, and everything should fit. And that way we'll have the 24 pin on the same side. Also, when stacking your rigs together, you'll have one up top, one at the bottom. You can probably get them closer together, because then they can kind of squeeze in between each other depending how you want to kind of stack it. So looks like this is about as far as I got. I'm going to have to pull it all apart. I am going to take a quick peek, see if I can flip it maybe 90 degrees here, but I don't think any of these holes will line up when it's situated that way. So I'm going to have to take it apart and put it all back together on the boxes the way it was. But, you know, it's a great design. It's working for other things, but for what I want, at least with my splitters, this is not going to work. So I'm going to have to reprint the other stands, and I'll have to get back to you in like 3 or 4 days time, because it does take a while to print those, and then I have to not be lazy and pull my rigs apart again. So these are the current splitters I was using, and they got very expensive. They're like 50 bucks a piece yet, so that kind of sucks here. They've been moving up in price quite a bit lately here. but they're pretty short. Coming in and looking at it says parcel dimensions. I'm assuming that's still for these. On the long side, that's 16.21 centimeters. So that's actually pretty short. So I found some other ones here, wherever they are. Oh, I already ordered them, so they disappeared. I do believe they are, where are they? These guys right here. These ones are 33 centimeters, right? Yeah, right here. So we can see 33 centimeters, 12.9 inches, so a foot on each side here. So these ones should fit. So I ordered 2 of these. I'm going to wait for them to come in. It says estimated delivery is May 3rd to 21st, so it could be a while. But once they come in, I will install this again, and hopefully it works, and we'll see how things look. All right, guys, so I got everything up and running back to where they were. I didn't crack any motherboards. Everything is still good, so all good in the hood. Let's get back to CPU mining. So I'm going to order those. I already did, as I mentioned. I'll wait for them to come in, and I will attempt this again. Just like anything new, when you're trying something different, I wasn't prepared. I didn't have the right parts. I needed some longer splitters, so I'm going to wait for that to come in, guys. But thank you for checking out this video. Let me know, are you a CPU miner? How are you mounting your CPU mining rigs? And if you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, hit it now. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.